Hi everyone, this is Hippa from My Little Journal, and today I'm going to be setting up February for my daily journal. I'm going to do a quick flip through of January. Obviously, I started setting up February mid-January, so it's not completely done. Because January finished on a Monday, I had this extra page, and I thought it would be fun to just kind of stamp out a quote or something interesting, something to do with loving yourself and what you have. So I went ahead and grabbed a bunch of alpha stamps in different fonts because I thought it would be fun to stamp this in different fonts and in different ink colors. So I'm going to stamp out when you love what you have, you love everything. I think that's what it said. I'm not sure. We'll see once I'm done stamping. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and stamp this out. Of course, I edited out a lot of the stamping because it takes some time. I don't mind stamping long titles. Actually, I feel like it's very relaxing. But if this is something you don't want to do, you can totally print this out. Just type it out and print it out and stick it to your journal. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and stamp out my quote, and then we can start setting up February. So I'm almost done stamping and totally remember now what I stamped. Ended up stamping, when you love what you have everything you need. And I love that quote, so I'm going with it. I do want to add some stickers. I get a lot of my stickers from Etsy. Most of them are printables. I like the printables because I can like reprint them whenever I need them. And I'm not a hoarder. I use my stickers, and I think this is the perfect spread to use some of my stickers because it will like kind of spruce it up and add a little something to my quote. Once I figure out where I want my stickers to sit and I go with plants, I'm going to go ahead and stick them down. And then I'm going to grab, I think, my little washi tape. I think I grab a slim one just to add balance to my spread and also to break it down a little bit. I don't know. I always feel like washi tape is the way to go when you feel like everything's not balanced out. It just adds that balance to my quote. I will also grab my favorite little floral stamp. It's perfect to add a little something around my stickers and my stamping. So I'm going to grab that and stamp it in black ink. I will also add a border around my quote. And then I believe I call my little spread here done. It was a great idea to just use a quote to fill out that page, but I think for February I decide I will be adding that Monday the 28th to March. I feel like I don't want to waste pages, and I don't think I need to be stamping quotes every month, so I'm going to end up adding that Monday to March, even though I don't like the idea, but I'm going to try it out and see how that goes. Okay, let's move on to my February title page. So if you've been following me for a while, you know I love my Tucker Alpha stamps from Studio Calico. I use them to stamp out every single title page throughout my daily journal. I just love the simplicity of them, and they're large enough to kind of stand out. So I'm going to use it this month to stamp February. But I am going to kind of theme up my spread. Now, sometimes I do theme up my spreads. Sometimes I just keep it basically just flowers or whatever I want, whatever I'm feeling at the moment. But this month, I thought it would be fun if I used multiple February stamps in different fonts to stamp around my large February. So I know I'm not making sense, but you'll see what I'm talking about once I start stamping. I wanted to theme it up But at the same time, I'm not a big fan of Valentine and I just don't, like pinks and all that stuff. So I thought if I stamped my Februaries with black ink and kind of created clusters, I can use my Studio Calico like heart stamp. It's a stamp full of hearts. And there's like they're different, I don't know, styles and they're hand drawn and they're just really, really cute. And I thought I could stamp those hearts in pink and red, and it's not really in your face and it's not too theme heavy, if that makes sense. And I actually really, really like how it turned out just because I kept to my style. But at the same time, I was able to add a little bit of like sprinkle a little bit of theme in there, and it just turned out perfect. So at this point, I'm just stamping all the Februaries. And once I'm done doing that, I'm going to grab that stamp set from Studio Calico and add the hearts in between. It's not going to be in your face. It's not too much. It's not too pink. And it just looked really good. And I might be doing this again because I really liked how it looked. I was able to use all my February stamps. So that's like a plus for me. I do change up the pinks that I use because I wanted to give it some depth, and I always recommend this. If you want to add depth to your title or to your page, definitely change up the colors, and that way it's not all red or it's not all pink, so it adds a little depth to your spread. But anyways, I'm almost done. I really like this little line of hearts. It was on the same stamp set, so I'm going to stamp that right underneath the February. And then I'm going to grab my perfect little floral stamp from Everyday Explorers and add a few stamping here and there. I add a border to my spread, and I'll even add some shadowing to my February just so it can stand out and pop. And then I call the spread done. I love how it turned out. And then we can move on to the first week of February. Okay, so let's move on to the first week of February, and that is week 5. And I bought a bunch of stamp sets from Kerri Bradford. They are gorgeous. This was from their new release. And she had number stamps that came in like different sizes. And I bought 2 different sizes because I knew I would use them in my daily journal. So I'm going to use that stamp set to stamp 1 through 6. Now, because the week starts on a Tuesday, I have more space, and I decided to give a lot of space for Sunday because we always end up doing a lot of stuff on Sunday. So I thought I would add more space for Sunday. I'm going to be using this stamp set from Everyday Explorers to stamp Tuesday through Sunday. And I love that it's in cursive. So I thought it would be fun to change up my ink color and stamp it in green. That way I can have like a base for my spread. And once I stamp that in green, I can kind of scatter green around my spread without it being too green, if that makes sense. But anyways, I also stamped today. That's also from the same stamp set, just to add a little something. I'm going to trim out my black paper here to add a spot for me to add week 5. I did this in January and I really like how it looked. So I think I'm going to do this throughout the year. It just doesn't take up a lot of space. But I always say, don't say I'm going to be doing this throughout the year because I always change my mind. But anyways, we'll see. And I'm just going to use my white marker to add week 5. So at this point, I'm going to color in my numbers. I also wanted them to pop and I felt like they were I don't know, blending in with the background. So I use my handy dandy Tombow gray marker. Love this gray. I use it for my lines as well. And it's one of my favorite gray inks. And I always have it linked in the description box for you. But anyways, let's move on. I want to add a little something to my spread. I thought these Polaroid stamps would work perfectly to fill out those little corners. And I can use them to add a photo once the week has passed, maybe like add my favorite photo in there. I love the stamp set from Studio Calico because the Polaroids are slightly different and they have different words in there. And it's just perfect to add a little something to your spread. I also stamped Live a Great Story on some craft paper. I'm going to punch it out and add it to one of my Polaroids. I do want to add some washi tape because I thought this was a good way to add more green to my spread. And I have this beautiful, beautiful washi tape from Aubrey. I will add her Etsy shop down in the description box for you. But she has beautiful washi, and I had bought this beautiful green washi from her and I wanted to use it. So I grabbed that and just add a few to the corners of my spread. And while I was adding them to my spread, I trimmed off this top one and I didn't want to waste the washi. So I added it to one of the Polaroids and it looked so cute. So I end up adding it to both Polaroids basically. And I love that little hint of green throughout my spread. So I'm almost done with week 5. I'm just going to add my border. I'm going to grab my gray pen and color in some of the Polaroids and add some lines to my spread. And then I call week 5 done. I'll come back and add some stickers. I like to do the stickers at the end once I have everything set up. So once I get everything set up, I'll come back and add some stickers. But I'm just going to go ahead and add my lines with my gray marker and then move on to week 6. So for week 6, we have a full 7-day week, and I'm going to start by adding week 6 with my white marker, and then I'm going to grab another stamp set that I grabbed from Kerri Bradford. With her new release, she had the days of the week stamp and the months, so I'm going to use that to add Monday through Sunday. And I will grab the same stamp set that I used for week 5, but in a smaller, shrunken down format. So basically, it's the same number stamp, but smaller. And that's why I decided to grab 2 sizes because I knew I liked them both and they both work really, really well with my daily journal. So I'm going to end up stamping 7 through 13, and I stamped them on different sides of the days of the week on purpose because I knew I wanted to add some type of floral to my spread, and I wanted them to I wanted to mix it up basically. I didn't want them all sitting on the same side of my spread. So because I knew I wanted to add some type of floral stamp, I grabbed this one from Close to My Heart. And I grabbed this one on purpose because the stamp set comes with like different circles. They're not really circles. They look like splatter to me. And I thought if I stamped those flowers and then used the splatter to add color, it would, make everything pop. So that's why I went with the stamp set, and it is just so gorgeous. So I end up adding some of the flowers to the days of the week, and then I'm going to grab the splatter stamps to add color. I'm going to go with blue. I was feeling blue for week 6, and I'm going to use different shades of blue because I didn't want to stamp it all in the same color. And again, when you change up your ink pads, you add more depth to your spread. As you can see, it looks really, really cool and very colorful. I wanted to give myself a break from the floral stamp because I didn't want to fill it, like I didn't want to fill my whole spread with flowers before I add a little something where I can add either my currentlies or something like that. So I wanted to stamp these out first. This is another Studio Calico stamp before I add too much flowers, if that makes sense. So I end up adding the boxes. I stamp currently and a little heart. And now that I know that, this is where my currently is going to sit, I can grab the floral stamp again and add more florals. So I end up adding some in the corner. I'll add some in the fold of my notebook. And that stamp set had a rainbow, so I'm going to even use that rainbow and stamp it in the top corner. I'm just adding a little bit of color here and there. I love how this turned out. It's so, so simple, so beautiful. And these are the types of layouts that I love because when I come back in and I journal every day, I can add a little bit of my own stickers and my own style in here, and it's not going to be overwhelming. If you start your daily journal by adding all the things, and then you come back and you want to add your journaling and you want to add stickers, it just gets too overwhelming and it doesn't match and it doesn't fit well. So I always recommend to keep it as simple as possible and just have fun with it. And you can always add to it when you start journaling throughout the week. So I'm almost done with week 6. I'm just going to add a border and then we can move on to week 7. So I really like these little boxes that I stamped out to hold my currently on week 6. And I thought it was the perfect stamp to hold the days of the week for me on week 7. So what I'm going to end up doing is grabbing that box again and stamping them 7 times. It's like a good size to be adding the weeks, and it's going to be pretty bold, and that's what I was looking for. So I'm going to end up stamping those. And while I was stamping them out, I thought this is the perfect box to use my floating number stamps from Feed Your Craft. I just thought if I stamped the floating numbers in that empty spot in the box, it would look pretty cool. So I go for it. I stamp it in yellow and I love it. It just worked out perfectly. And I love the straight lines and the cleansiness of it, if that makes sense. It just looks really, really good. And I'm happy I went with it. I do want space to add my currently, so I just grabbed the stamp set to add a little line or create my own little box or section, let's say. So I'm going to end up stamping that on the left side and the right. I will stamp watching, reading, craving. That stamp set where I used to stamp watching, reading, craving has little icons as well. So I'm going to end up adding the icons as well. And I will grab my markers and color them in. It's just going to come together really, really quickly. And I have so much space to journal and add stickers as I go. That's what I always go for when I'm doing my daily journal. I'm always trying to keep things simple, cute, but simple. That way, when I do come back and journal, I can add my own style in there and theme it up if I wanted to. Now that I'm done coloring everything in, I'm going to grab my marker or my pen and add a border to my spread. I'll also grab my gray Tombow marker to color in the boxes. Just wanted them to stand out, so I end up using my gray marker for that. And then I can move on to week 8. So for week 8, I wanted to use the same number stamp that I used throughout this month from Kerri Bradford, and I wanted to use a different day of the week stamp, but I wanted to make sure that they fit nicely together, and they did. So once I tried it out, I went ahead and stamped 21 through 27. I'm going to grab that date stamp, or the day stamp, sorry, to add the days of the week. And I purposely shifted the days of the week. They're not all sitting directly underneath the numbers. I did that on purpose because, again, I'm going to be using a leaf stamp to stamp around the days of the week. And I wanted to make sure that when I stamp them, that they're not all sitting on the same side of my spread. This is a great way to add color. I love leaf stamps and floral stamps because you can use your markers and color them in, and they're going to add a lot of color to your spread. So once I added my days of the week, I grabbed that leaf stamp. I'm going to end up stamping them around the days of the week. I'll even stamp some in the corners and on the bottom of my spread. I'm just having fun with this. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Right now, it kind of looks blah and bland, but once I grab my Tombow markers and color them in, it's just going to pop and it's going to look beautiful. Halfway through me stamping my leaves, I decided I'm going to grab that splatter stamp to add some color. I grab some yellow ink and add the splatter. I just thought I would start there before I finish stamping my leaves. I always say this, I always stop halfway and add what I want before I add too much to my spread. I always recommend this, just add a little bit, change your course. Just make sure that you're happy with how it looks before you add more, because you can always add, but you can never take back what you already stamped, if that makes sense. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead, finish up my stamping. I also do want to use some washi tape to bring in some color, and I'm going to end up doing that once I'm done stamping and coloring in all the things. Okay, so now I can add a border to my spread. I'm going to grab my Tombow markers and color in my leaves. I do end up adding a few more things to this spread, I believe. I'm not sure, but when I go through my stickers, I end up adding some washi tape sticker or something like that. You'll get to see it at the end of this video when I share all my photos, because sometimes I end up coming back after I've done recording and add a little bit more to my spread, which is okay. And I share that always at the end of the video when I share my photos. But anyways, once I'm done coloring in my leaves, I'm gonna grab my stickers and add a few stickers here and there. I had bought some stickers from Passion Planner, and I am in love. They are some of my favorites right now. So I'm going to use some of those sticker sheets to add a few stickers here and there. Like I said before, there's no right or wrong way to do this. I don't just choose stickers because they're going to fit into what I'm going to talk about that week or what I'm journaling. That's not how it works for me. I just add the stickers that I feel match well with my spread. And if I feel they're general stickers that they don't have to match my journaling, if that makes sense. So I just go with that. But that's about it, you guys. Like I said earlier, day 28 of February is going to go with my March spreads. I don't have to worry about that right now. I'm going to add my month tab. These are also from Passion Planner. And then I call my layouts done. Don't forget, I will be adding all the links for everything I use down in the description box for you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye.